This video contains some small spoilers for Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. If you're caught up on the show, you're in no danger. Just be warned. Howdy, Samurai Spirit here. Season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen starts off with a prequel arc, exploring the backstories of everyone's favorite overpowered anime character Satoru Gojo, and his long-lost love, Suguru Geto. The main body of this prequel arc is the 4-episode Hidden Inventory arc, and it is absolutely fantastic. If you consume it all at once, it becomes an anime film that rivals the likes of the Chainsaw Man Reze movie. It's just so very well made. It shows us all of the adults from JJK's normal timeline back when they were in the roles of the students they now teach. And besides that just being a fun inversion of the status quo, it also gives us the opportunity to see these characters in a whole new light, particularly the starring duo of Geto and Gojo. We get to see that while Gojo was always a prodigy, even as a young kid, he wasn't always the completely invincible god we've grown to know him as. But more importantly, we see that his power level isn't the only thing that's changed over the years. In fact, back in high school, it turns out that while Gojo may have always been a god, he wasn't always a savior. Back then, if anyone, it was actually Geto that held a righteous moral attitude towards protecting and serving the weak. That contrast between Geto and Gojo's philosophical views on their roles in the world becomes the emotional core of the entire arc, which sees them sent to deliver a young girl, Riko, back to Jujutsu High to be sacrificed to Tengen, an ancient, semi-immortal sorcerer, in order to preserve Jujutsu Society's existing order. Today, I want to talk about how Jujutsu Kaisen uses a bit of subtle symbolism to drive home the central idea of a scene, and the arc it lays within. This scene is from the ending of the prequel arc, Premature Death, and it takes place after Suguru Geto's fall from grace. While initially a steadfast believer in using strength to protect the weak, the loss of Riko Amanai at the hands of a non-sorcerer, followed by the thunderous applause of the human cult that had her killed, the temporary loss of his best friend in the whole world Gojo after his death, the metaphorical loss of the friendship between them following Gojo's Buddhahood, and, finally, the death of the optimistic young sorcerer Haibara, Geto slowly stops to see the lives of non-sorcerers as equal to the lives being lost to protect them. Meanwhile, Gojo, now awakened as the Buddha, takes on a great feeling of responsibility for the lives of others, yet still in the detached way that a god amongst men cares for his defenseless sheeple. In this final scene of confrontation between the two after Geto commits a string of heinous murders, the pair face off not only as deeply emotionally wounded friends, but as representatives of two distinct philosophies. Geto viewing normal humans as mere pests to be dealt with, and Gojo viewing them as sheep to be protected by his benevolence. This clash could have happened anywhere. They could be having this conversation back at Jujutsu High, or in the woods somewhere, or on a rooftop, or in an alleyway. Anywhere. So why does it happen here, in the middle of a busy street? The answer lies in very well executed symbolism. See, Gojo and Geto stand 10 feet apart, while hundreds of pedestrians, drawn less vibrantly and almost blending into a faceless mob, walk by them. They're having a very sensitive and personal conversation in a very public place, talking about their emotions, yelling, discussing crimes. So why don't they go somewhere where they can be alone to have this conversation? Well, the answer is because to them, they are alone. The normal humans on this street are irrelevant to both of them. They aren't afraid to completely disregard them and talk openly, as if they were completely by themselves. In the same way that an exterminator might talk freely with bugs crawling around, or a shepherd might speak his mind even if his sheep are looking at him. So, my fellow writers, that's today's lesson. Everything about a scene conveys information to your audience, and that includes location, the people in it, and their attitudes towards others. If you do it right, nobody will ever notice exactly why it works so well, but they'll know it's good. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then I'd appreciate it if you stuck around to catch the next one. And don't forget to leave me a suggestion for a topic you'd like to see me cover next. See you next time. Bye.